Okay, reel it in. Over there, take it over there.
Hi guys, welcome to our channel, Exploring It All. I'm Miraculous Girl. Join me and my dad while we explore subscription boxes, the outdoors, gear and equipment, and other fun things and places. Before we get started, hit like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Ding!
Well, thank you for that amazing introduction, Miraculous Girl, and thank you everyone for joining us again here on Exploring It All. Now, as it is, here we are. We're at part 4 with the rarest of the rare, in my opinion, of the, or at least of the ones that I have, of the fishing model Victorinox knives. So this one is called the Bass Fishing. This one was part of the Smoky Mountain Knife Works Wildlife Series. It was a 4 knife release. Smoky Mountain Knife Works is a company, I think they're in Tennessee. They're a knife retailer, but they arranged with Victorinox for some specialty releases. I think this one's pretty unique because they changed it up a couple of things on this one, whereas the other ones really only had an addition of a special tool, whereas this one actually is a model that, I mean, even if you took off that one special tool, it didn't exist, as far as I know anyway. All right, so what am I talking about? Well, let's get started. Let's take a look at it. So the first thing you'll notice is this has the blue translucent scales, but they do have this print of it says Bass Fishing on it, and then it has a picture of a bass grabbing the hook, hence the fishing model. And then we have the black scales now, or the translucent scales on the back side as well. Now, one thing I will say, I bought this knife, I've used this knife, I bought this knife new, and I'm kicking myself because, and I want to say it was about $30 at the time. It was maybe not even that much. And I'm kicking myself because I should have bought the other 3, because you can't find them. Now, these knives were available through Smoky Mountain Knife Works between between about 2005 and 2009. They started liquidating the excess stock in other places starting in around 2009, according to SackWiki. All right, so first let's get started with our scale tools. You have the standard scale tools, and you know, I wish they had blue ones, but you have your tweezers here, and these are the, you know, standard tweezers, gray tip, plastic head on it, and on the back side you have the standard toothpick. So there's that. Now on our back scale tools, and this is part of what makes this one really unique, is, and this is where it would line up to be a fisherman model, because the fisherman is the one that had the Phillips screwdriver. Now, it has the Phillips screwdriver. I don't believe it's magnetized, no. And it has the, it's the rounded Phillips screwdriver. It's the most modern version of the screwdriver. Now, one thing I'm going to say right now, also as we do this, these scales do have the hole for the pin. However, it is not listed as having the pin, so I'm going to say I most likely put this pin in this particular model. But when it came out, they were using the same molds with that pinhole. So you had that. And then the other item that makes this also extremely unique is you don't have the awl, you have the technician screwdriver. And this is listed, and I wrote it down here, the technician screwdriver is a 2.5 millimeter, approximately 2.5 millimeter fine screwdriver, the technician screwdriver. Now, there was an earlier version of this that didn't have as much contour to it. It was pretty straight. But this is the current one, and this one was, they started using in 1985. So that's the technician screwdriver. Now we also have the key ring that is in the same spot on the back scale tool where it is when the awl is there. A lot of people like to say that this works as a window breaker. However, I've seen video footage where, yes, it will cause the glass to shatter or whatever, or crack, but it doesn't make it shatter the way a carbide window breaker does. So then on our front side, we have the can opener, which I always say, yeah, I use it a lot with the fine screwdriver tip, which I used a lot at Christmas time this year, taking out those little mini batteries and stuff in the ornaments. You have the cap lifter bottle opener with the standard hollow ground screwdriver, and also your wire bender, wire stripper, and it does have the 90-degree stop, and so you can use that, get a little more torque. Now, what makes this kind of unique from the other Fisherman is the Fisherman comes with the scissors, and the Fisherman's the one with the Phillips screwdriver, and then scissors. The Angler that comes with the pliers has a corkscrew. So that's what kind of makes this tool set really unique for the fishing models and changes it up a little bit more than some of the other ones in the Smoky Mountain Knife Works Wildlife series. I have to say, I like this model because it has that technician screwdriver, you have the Phillips screwdriver, and then you have the pliers. Now, these pliers here have the wire crimper. It is going to have the groove in the backside here, but this is your wire crimper right here in the backside of the handle. Then you have your wire cutter right here inside the jaws next to the rivet. And then you have two different plier grips in there. You have the larger one in the middle, and then you have your kind of fine one. And these actually work almost as good as a tweezer, as a secondary larger tweezer or something like that. The spring on these is great, by the way, too. So you have that, and then next up we have our small blade, the small spear point blade, which has been the standard since 1973. And then you have your large main blade. And this large main blade, I did also just kind of check the tang stamps, and these tang stamps ran from 2005 to 2009. So that just fits right in with where we determined this knife came out. So, and you have that spear point blade. And then, of course, we have the fish scaler. Now, there's a few other companies that actually do make a fish scaler, and I have this Mora knife that actually has a fish scaler on the back. So it isn't like Victorinox is the only ones that ever came out with a fish scaler. There are other companies out there that do. Some people who seem to... I think the fish scaler gets a little bit of a bad rap. But anyway, this is the standard fish scaler. You got your scaling edge here. You have your ruler. And this is inches on this side. And then on this side you have centimeters. And then you also have your hook degorger here. I've mentioned this is great to remove staples, to use as a fork, holding matches when you want to light a candle. I've done a few demos. Well, guys, that's a look at the what I consider one of the rarest models with the fish scaler, the bass fishing from Smoky Mountain Knife Works Wildlife Series. And there are some larger models out there that I do have, the Champ, the Champion, the XXLs that do have the fish scaler as well. I'm not going to include those in this series because those knives are a series unto themselves. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us here. We're going to have some other Swiss Army knives and things coming up. Remember, give us a like, give us a subscribe, ring the notification bell, and be nice to each other.